Welcome to opening round. It's the Lunar Chinese New Year event, and we're hoping for a solid round on the free-to-play account. So the no-spend account is what is in store this week, a little bit different. And a big question, a lot of my viewers, 50% of viewers who are watching are not subscribed. So do drop a subscription. It is free to do. It helps me out massively. This is what we're running, the car and the driver setup with Nicholas Latifi and Alex Albon. We don't have much of the bonus drivers, and they're certainly not good enough in its current state. But we're going to get straight into it with the first race coming from Brazil. Let's go with the first race, and it is Brazil. It's going to be a mixed racing, I imagine, this weekend. Very difficult GP for myself. I'm not using the boosted drivers specifically either, so I'm not expecting too much out this weekend, but you can certainly see how I cope under some pressure. In Brazil then, we've got 15 corners. There's been 37 races held in Brazil and a 43% chance of winning from pole. Number of different runners, 24, and the most successful team, Ferrari, with 9. And if we're looking at the Black Sails fastest lap record holder, well, that goes to Luca with a 22.9. So here we go then. We are away for opening round. And can we get a good start with Alex Albon and Nicholas Latifi? And we're planning an undercut and a 4-4. And already Nicholas Latifi getting the better of his levelled up driver Albon. And he's up into P10. So a great start for Nicholas Latifi. And we've just got to make sure we hold the position. No boosts in play. We don't have many. So we are doing this the very hard way. And Nicholas Latifi drops back to P11 as Carlos Sainz gets through on the inside. So where can we go? How many points can we get? It's going to be hard with Albon. We've got to be looking at an undercut. And I am going to save tyres. And I can't even defend against them two. Even with, we're going backwards with Latifi. I don't want to push him too much because of tyres. I want to save as much fuel as I can for a heavy stint later on. And he is slowly falling backwards. And soft tyres around us will be the cause for that. But we're in P14 at the minute. So I'm not going to basically panic too much. We're going to hopefully come through. And we are going to close that gap ever so slightly into the first corner. Albon in P21. And that's a bad move, but it manages to keep the position. So this is the home of challenging GP in Challenger, and specifically with my account at the moment. But we're going to keep on grinding on this account, see what we can do. Obviously no spend at all. As Latifi comes to start lap number 4. Alex Albon will be pitting early. It's the only thing we can try from back there. And we try and keep the position from Gasly, but we push too late and it goes through the Toro Rosso. So we settle down with Albon, and we're going to start boosting Albon out the pits, see how hard we can push him. But I've got a feeling that Alfa Romeo in front is going to hold us up, which is not going to be the best plan of action. We're going to get pretty unlucky. A lot of people pitting now. So it looks like lap 4 was the key pit stop lap here in Brazil. And hopefully we don't get held up. Albon is getting held up by Zhou Guanyu. And Albon still can't get past. This is costing us a few positions. And he does finally get into P17. Latifi coming out of the pits. He is in P18. And suddenly points look very slim in our first race. We're on lap 6. Or coming up to lap 6. And we're only 16th and 17th. We've got a few hard tyres pitting ahead, but everyone's following the same strategy. Can we get one up the inside of the Scuderia Ferrari? We can. 15th. Scuderia Ferrari, not a chance there. And Albon goes bounding by on to the back of the boosted 20% Sonoda. And Latifi now. Oh, I was hoping to let one car through, but in the end, it wasn't possible. So we're gonna be tough to get some points here. We're gonna be clutching at straws with 2 laps to go. Albon, we've got to basically protect the tyres. That undercut has not really worked. Latifi's up to P12 though, and Albon P15. Is there any more positions available? Potentially one when the rival pits. We can definitely go to the end with Latifi, but we can't with Albon. Albon can't push at all. So this is backfired. And the only way we learn is by things backfiring. As he comes across the line, Latifi, and he's ahead of the rival, who is probably coming out on softs. Albon himself ahead of the rival as well, but we can't really push too much. We're only on 15%, so we're going to be a sitting duck in the first race. We tried something different, couldn't work. And what about Latifi? Can he get any more than P10? We're going to try and frustrate the rival by sitting our Albon in front of him. Latifi up to P9. Component failed. And Latifi looks like it's going to be a P9 finish. Albon is going to finish P4, 15. So not a great race for our first one. It is only 26 points as we move on. Race number 2. Decent matchup, but doesn't necessarily mean decent qualifying positions in Australia. So let's see what we can do in here. Very difficult track, and I'm pretty worried about where we're going to finish here. We're going to have to try and do our best. And in the Black Sails Racing team, on the dry, a 26.961 by Bill, who is the record holder in the track. And you can see we can only manage a 33.7. So we're a good 6.5 seconds off the pace with these cars. But that is expected because we are nowhere near a maximum account. So here we go then. We're about to set off. We're going to do another undercut attempt. And can we get the guys up the field? So Albon, boosted start, P8. Latifi, P20. Down to P21. So Latifi's having a bad start. P22 now. So that's going to be very tough for Latifi. We've got to do a few undercuts here, I believe. Albon up to P6, harassing Lewis Hamilton. Carlos Sainz has a look, but can't go anywhere. And Albon now settles down with conserving his tyres and fuel, because we need to just watch out for any potential overcuts that we can do. So I think it's no-brainer here to do an undercut with Latifi. And we've got to risk it because we're sat in P23. So we've got to go different here. And that's what we are going to do. P6, P23, heading down the home straight. I'm starting lap 2 to see a pit stop from Latifi, because as a WF1 racing team, getting ready already for a nice early pit. And it is the contrast, P6, P23. I mean, you couldn't have got any more of a difference unless you were 1 and 24. It does make, we could do with both drivers levelling up at some point, getting that higher qualifying position. Albon, we're going to do the 4 and the 4 strategy. So we're going to start to boost around halfway around this lap for another lap and a half. As Latifi is in, so we're risking it. Risking it early on lap 3. Hopefully we can get a nice sort of kick start in some free air, but I don't think we're going to get it. We've got 2 cars ahead of us. So it is not going to work to our advantage. And Albon, we now start to boost. And we're going to try and pick off anybody that is pitting on lap 3. As we approach Lewis Hamilton in front of us in P5. And we move up to P4. And what about Latifi? Latifi's stuck behind Vettel. Can we make any headway into these points? Latifi going to make a few positions here. Up to P number 19. And that's a move through Vettel. Zhou Guanyu holding people up. And we do make ourselves P18. Albon in P4 pitting this lap. And look at the difference. Good 18 seconds between the 2 drivers already halfway through this race. Albon pits. Albon is in, showing P2, but will lose a couple of positions. And what about Latifi? He's still not getting past and making any moves as we come through. And Albon P7, Latifi still P18, and we're going to have to try an early pit stop here. Again, we're going to try and counteract the opposition and try and not pit when everybody else pits. And we've got a few softs that are going to be pitting in around another 2 laps time. So let's try and undercut them with Latifi. We come through. Albon, P7. We're going to try. We got him past P5, so into P6 now. Making moves here in Australia. And what about Latifi? Latifi now in. Nice little undercut coming here. Should hopefully give us some free air. And indeed we have. Nice bit of free air running for Latifi to smash 3 laps in here. And it is the changing weather all the time. 20 seconds until rain. I mean, I think I've got to risk it that it's a long rain. I think I've got to risk it with Latifi. Latifi coming round. I'm going to have to pull the pin, I think. And come in for some wets. And I can't, 30 seconds, I can't change it either. Oh no, the risk has not paid off. And I think we're going to be swallowed up here in the end. But Latifi's out in P22, and our hope is that he can make a few moves early on and hold on to positions. Alex Albon, P4, crosses the line P3 now. Running out of fuel though. But he is on the last lap. So we've still got rain incoming at the minute. And can we go ahead even further? Dry weather, 20 seconds. There's no point pitting Latifi again as he comes down the straight and gets himself P19. So what a difficult race this is from Latifi. Seems to be the consistency of not scoring well so far. And how do we get Latifi up the field in our future races? That is the question on everybody's lips. And we're out of fuel as well. So we got to just try and hold for a position. Can we do it? Zhou Guanyu gets ahead of us. Latifi trying to hold on to another. Can't get through. Sadly, it's a race where we only score 27 points. Race 3 out of the 4 comes from Bahrain, the grip track on F1 Clash. And we've got 15 corners ahead of us, 40% chance if you are racing from pole to take the win, as the average stats say. And number of winners, 7 different winners here in Bahrain. And we're hoping for a better race. Putting them behind us, fastest lap from Black Sails Racing Team is a 27.885. And that is Ed, who is the fastest lap. And as you can see, we are a good 7 seconds off that lap. So we're going softs, we're going hards. And fingers crossed, we can get some decent points because we really do need it. We've been up against it. And that consistency stats for qualifying absolutely hurting us every single race. But today, P8 and P9 qualifying, which is a lot better than the last 2 races. So lights out, away we go. We've got a human player here, a human player using boosts. He's got the Instinct and the Street Shark. So he's got some fuel in there, he's got some overtaking, got some tyre management as well. And that's a good start from Alex Albon. Alex Albon moves past Max Verstappen into P5. And now looking at a move up the inside on George Russell. And a bit of a sandwich between AZWF1 sees Alex Albon take P5 and Nicholas Latifi take P7. So already we've made some positions off the start. 1 each, pretty much, couple each. And hopefully this should be, unless any dramas, a decent set of scoring points. Latifi, under pressure on the hard tyre. Obviously slow tyre on this track. And the Scuderia Ferrari try a move, but can't get through. So Carlos Sainz has to wait for another opportunity. We are doing a 3-2-3 with Albon and a 4-4 Latifi. As Sainz finally does get past, puts the brakes on, And that means that Latifi falls back down to P10. But we're going to keep trying as Alex Albon starts his pit lap. So it'll be his in lap now. And Latifi just trying to keep hold, gets sandwiched out again. So Latifi getting some right tyre-to-tyre racing in Bahrain. And if you are watching this, it is a grip track. You want your grip boosts and your cornering boosts. They are superb around Bahrain. As we now look to put the in-lap through with Alex Albon. Let's try and boost him a little bit to maybe hope for an extra second that can help us. And Albon swings into the pits, and we need a good pit stop from AZW. 50% servicing, so we don't have to service this time round. And out we come. P number 4. So, great pit stops all around there. And we've got Latifi behind Russell in P6. So P4 and P6, and now P5, because Latifi up the inside of George Russell. And we are now P4 and P5 here in Bahrain. Crucial couple of laps incoming. We've got Latifi coming in the pits. And hopefully we can get both drivers maybe into the top 6 finish. I'd be happy with both drivers here. Definitely a top 6. And Albon in P3. Latifi's in on them hard tyres for some more hard tyres. And where is he going to come out? Ferrari goes past. Norris looking for a move. Can't get it done. So Latifi P10 with no pit stops left. Albon trying to get past Mercedes and does so. P2. And he'll be coming back for some medium tyres with the rival out there on the hards. And a nice little sniff at first place there, which is unusual for us this weekend. But Albon dropping down into P6. Latifi still P10. And it looks like a few mediums and hards that might not go to the end. So we've got a good chance of getting both drivers top 6 here. That's the aim. So anything sort of good 40 points would be perfect. And I don't think that rival is going to be able to hold with them hard tyres. They'll definitely have to pit again. As Latifi, can we make the move? Albon up to P4 now. Not got loads of fuel, nor has Latifi, but Latifi up into P7. So we are gradually getting closer. And Albon goes up the inside and takes George Russell. Shows him a lesson as to why Albon should be at the front and not at the back of the grid. But Latifi's slow. We've got to just prepare on them tyres. Make sure we've got enough to last. And it looks like Lewis Hamilton will be coming into the pits. And he does. So we're up to P2 with Alex. And what about Latifi? We wanted a top 6. I think we're going to get it. And it might be even better. We're up to P5. And it is very challenging of a free-to-play account. Very different to how we race from the front in our main races on our main account. No longer are the 47s, it's all about the 30 points plus in Challenger at the moment. And we are across the line. Albon couldn't catch up with the tyre running out P1. But it is going to be P2 for Albon, P5 for Nicholas Latifi. And a very solid 43 points in the bag. I'm well happy with 43 points every day. The final race, and it is a close match-up here. And we are moving to France. So, the France track is the last of the opening round that you're going to see. And in the dry, it is Nelson from Black Sails with a 30.855 in Paul Ricard as the fastest lap. And let's see how far our car is off round here. And it is a 37.5, so we're a good 6.5 seconds off that fastest lap time. And yet again, qualifying has moved us back down. We're back down to P10, P15 from P8, P9 pretty much last time out. So up against it again, and here we go. Albon tries to put the burners on, and he is out P10, Latifi P14. And can we get some good moves? Albon P9 now. What about Latifi looking at a move on Sergio Perez? Takes the long route round. And that's not a bad move because it sets us up. But Albon takes his own line and lets Bottas through as well. So we've swapped drivers around. And Latifi will be doing 2 laps and coming in the pits. I think that's what the best course of action here is. It's very tricky to understand exactly what the best strategies are, because it's also tempting to use what I use for my main account. But we try and do what we can do as we start lap number 2. And if only I wish I had a dead fast, a lumberjack, anything like that to use, but sadly not. Sadly, it isn't there for us to use as an option. And Nicholas Latifi fancying an undercut in France. I think that's going to be the recipe of the day. A nice little undercut with Latifi. See if we can get him up the field from P11. He'll come back for the mediums. We're not going to service. And hopefully we can pick up a few positions as Albon goes through. Now Albon into P11. We've got a lap of this one and a lap again until we'll be coming on lap 4 for Albon. And we'll just hold off Lando Norris and boost down the straight. So we're going to start to boost out Alex, and Latifi we're going to boost, but he's in a bit of traffic here. And can we get a move done? Bottas was defending. No point trying to tackle that at the minute. Quite a lot of traffic around. So let's not burn the tyres or the fuel. As Albon makes a move up the inside of the Sainz. Alonso's in for the pits. There's a Red Bull in the pits and a AlphaTauri, I think it was. I think I called it a Toro Rosso earlier, but you know what I meant. As we are in P7 now with Alex. Latifi back in P12. We're just going to save the fuel again and then start to boost. Maybe down halfway down this straight, coming out of it, we'll put the rockets up his back of his Kia and see what we can do. But Alex Albon will be coming into the pits, and look at this for a traffic jam. It's worse than Spain, and that is held us up quite a bit. So we're going to come in for the hards. Latifi will go past. Rival goes onto the soft tyres. And now Latifi into P7. Albon back in P14. And we're going to come out with some more medium tyres. And can we rescue some points? We've been ups and downs so far. Points in the 20s. Points in the 40s. So hopefully we can keep up the last race's score. Latifi P6, but will be coming into the pits. Alex Albon 15th. And now 16th. Ricciardo gets us, but Ricciardo is going to pit anyway. So we are trying our best here. And Latifi coming back out on the medium tyres. Albon gets ahead of Alonso. And we're slowly moving up, but not quick enough. And definitely there is a contrast between qualifying and opening round in terms of scoring. We had 140 points after 4 races in qualifying, and I don't think we're going to be anywhere near that today. The AI is definitely stronger, it seems, in GP on an opening round or maybe even the final round tomorrow. It definitely feels that way so far, that it's a lot harder to pass the AI. As Alex Albon moves up to P7, we've got Latifi now P10. So we're still just ticking away at them positions. We are using all our fuel and all our tyres, so we're not going to have a lot left at the end of this. And we've got a lot of soft tyres behind us, so we're going to be under a lot of pressure very quickly. So hopefully we can get past George Russell. Albon has a look at the inside, can't get it done. Is there any more chances for a move? Not quite. So we carry on to the last lap. No pit stops. Very short on tyres on Albon. We've got Latifi behind us who's short on tyres as well. And I'm hoping team orders don't impact us too much here, because that could force us to lose a few positions with the old switcheroo. And it is going to be last gasp. But 10%, we're going to lose tyres and lose places with our Albon, surely. Only 6% now. Latifi back in P10, that's going to amend us. P11. Albon's going to lose to Gasly. As we start to boost, we've gone the long way. Albon and Russell to the line. It's P9 and P10. We got P10 on the line. So it's 31 points. So very inconsistent scoring here in Challenger from the first 4 races, which is made for tough viewing. So this is what this free-to-play's account. It shows you how tough it is. It's not all smooth sailing. And we got a 26, a 27, a 31 and a 43. So our average points will probably be around 28, 29 points. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very tough, but hopefully we can get some decent prizes for what is on offer. I do hope you have enjoyed the opening round from the free-to-play account. Make sure you do check out all my other videos. Drop a subscribe, drop a like, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.